Alright. I had the mic off because I was watching some Star Wars and didn't want to get a copyright strike on me. I posted a simple little meme today on Facebook, which is pointing out that there's, about 100 babies a day did not catch HIV because of retrovirals, which I find completely believable. And if my cousin's husband starts saying a bunch of nonsense and saying this is not data, this is just far left, so I send him a Scientific American article. He says what percentage of funding, and I tell him you can find that data in the budget on how much money is spent on each program we fund, and the cost per capita is extremely low, but this is counterterrorism. Like, that's something made on a previous stream. The United States funding antivirals in Niger and Burkina Faso is anti-terrorism because it means that these people who we help will be less susceptible to Saudi nonsense, and that reduces terrorism, which ends up saving us money because we don't have to go in later funding their governments with military, which is a lot more expensive than giving people medicine so they don't, and just like mosquito nets, which are extremely effective at preventing malaria deaths. And eventually, you can find all of that in the budget. Just knock yourself out. And basically, it's just the fact that the far right is arguing that we should, be they don't do any research. They've just been told by Donald Trump this is what it is. And then you have professionals with an education in this exact field like myself who are like, well, Trump's lying. Period. He's just plain lying. There's no way around it. Trump is a liar. When he's saying that, we're wasting money, he's lying. Just simple as that. And there's really no excuse for it. Trump is lying. And the amount of money we spend on these medicines sending to other countries is pennies. Most of that money stays in the United States because we manufacture it here at home, which I'm fine with and don't have a strong feeling either way on where it's made. But what I really care about, what I really, really care about is when that mother in Mauritania is getting medicine for her child, what flag is going to be on that box of medicine? Is it going to be the United States or is it going to be China? Which country is going to get the very inexpensive, almost free, when you subtract the counterterrorism funding we don't then have to spend, US aid is better than free. That's the argument I keep making, that's the main reason why we want to fund US aid. It's not just cheap. It doesn't just cost us a tiny percentage of the budget. So it's a minuscule percentage of the US federal budget. It's basically saving us money. Because I don't know about you, but I'm on team anti-terrorism. I'm most definitely on team, hold on, let me see which way I want to go. Do I want to go on I-20 or I stay on for I-40? Honestly, I'm kind of tempted to go all the way up to 70. I mean, I've done that route. Actually, I might take I-80. Let's go up to 80. Let's really do this highway. Let's do it this way. That's the team I'm on. I'm on Team USA. I'm on Team Anti-AIDS, Anti-HIV. I'm on Team Anti-Terrorism, and I'm on Team let's make it so that when, little babies in Sudan get medicine that their parents are seeing US flags on those medicine bottles. I'm on team. Let's make it so these people in these countries have a really good image of the United States. I'm on team when parents are asked, why is your baby alive? The answer I want them to give is the United States. That's what I want. I'm really fucking serious about that. When people go and they ask, why is your baby alive? The answer I want them to give is the United States, the US government, the American people. Every dollar spent to ensure that little babies in countries that most Americans will never visit survive so that their parents will instill with them a gratitude to the United States for saving their life is a win for the United States. Every single medicine bottle that goes to every mother in these very poor countries is a win for America. It is a very small percentage of the federal budget, and it gives us enormous dividends. And the dividends are why I support foreign aid, which is something that my entire life I never really gave a lot of thought to because I didn't have to, and I missed that. It never even crossed my mind that a president of the United States who somehow won a plurality of the popular vote would be actively working to undermine American counterterrorism. That doesn't even make sense. Why would you do that? It doesn't make sense. That's really what it comes down to me. It doesn't even make sense why anyone would voluntarily get rid of extremely cheap to downright free publicity, positive publicity for the United States. I don't get it. Unless if you assume that Donald Trump is actively trying to undermine America's image abroad to ensure that Russia gets a better image so people think the US is shifty and unreliable and doesn't care about people in other countries. If you assume that is Trump's game, all of a sudden, everything Trump does starts to make sense. Then it makes sense. Once you go with that assumption, which isn't that much of an assumption, everything he's doing makes a lot of sense. That's how I look at US aid. That's how I look at all of it. I don't want American bombs falling on civilians. I want American medicine being given to civilians all around the world in every country that needs it. Because I don't like terrorism and I don't like disease spreading. And it is absolutely in our best interest to both fund these healthcare systems to prevent these disease from spreading to the United States. It is absolutely in our best interest to, I don't know if that's actually I can take Highway 75. Welcome to Oklahoma. New state, new way station. Yeah, it's national security. Trump is undermining American national security. Yeah, that's how I look at it. Because that's the truth. Let me see. Is this now routing me up to Tulsa? Though. All right, that's fine. I don't think I've gone on this road before. Actually, I have somehow. That's surprising. Okie dokie. We'll go up this way. Honestly, I thought, how did I even do that? Oh, 45 turns into 75. For some reason, I thought 45 was going to turn into 35. Nope. That's fine. It's fine, though. Anyways, that's basically the way I look at it. And I think anti-terrorism is good, and the best anti-terrorism we have is making it so people feel like the United States is not a big, awful, evil empire, but actually a country that kind of cares about people and wants people around the world to be doing well. And, yeah, we want you to trade with us, but it's for our mutual benefit. And that is, to me, is the obvious reason of why we should do these things. It's almost self-evident to me. Why wouldn't you want children in these countries to grow up thinking the US is the reason, to know that the US is the reason they're alive? If you wanted to undermine the United States and reduce our power abroad and make people hate America, that's what I would do. There's so much to be angry about right now, and there's so much to know, and it's overwhelming and it's difficult, even as someone who is trained to look at political economic issues, to digest everything that is going on, whether it's the abuses of him at the border by this administration, whether it's the warmongering with our closest allies, whether it is the halting of aid, which directly undermines Americans' ability to do diplomacy around the world. All of these problems are a lot to take in, even when you are trained on these issues specifically. If you are a civilian and if you are someone who's not trained in economics or political science, or ideally both like I am, you're going to get lost. And that's by design. So Trump is betraying the United States. That's really what it comes down to. And undermining American diplomacy is a threat to our national security. And that's really what it comes down to. It is a threat to American national security, and it needs to not happen. It's a really big problem. I don't know how else to look at it. I'm on Team Save Lives. I'm on Team Save the lives of little brown boys and little brown girls in Africa, so that when they grow up and they're reading the internet and they say America's evil because blah blah blah, I really, really want their mother to go to them and say, look, the reason you are alive is the United States. That, the more children have that response to their parents when they start seeing anti-American nonsense on the internet, the better. Especially in countries that are Muslim, because they're being attacked by these radical Wahhabists who are attempting to, convert them to terrorism. And that's a problem. And the more of those parents, respond as soon as their kids start saying these things, Their parents need to be able to say, honestly, if it wasn't for the United States, you would have died as an infant. And then when that person realizes as a young adult, like, oh, America's not a bad country. In fact, America's the reason I am alive. I then want their parents to go to them. I want them to tell their friends, hey, you're my friend, right? And they'll say, yeah. My parent told me that the reason I'm alive is the US government. And they'll say, really? And they'll say, yeah, when I was an infant, I got sick at a USAID, a worker and my doctor was paid by USAID, and they gave me money that was paid for by the American people, and they saved my life. And right there, the terrorists have lost a recruit. They will never be able to recruit that person as soon as their parent tells them, if it weren't for the United States, you would have died as an infant. And that is true for millions of people around the world. There are millions of people around the world today who would have died as children if not for my government, if not for my tax dollars. This is why I have no problem paying my taxes. Because some of that money that I pay in taxes goes to save children in far-off countries that most Americans will never visit, that many Americans can't even point to on a map. But I have no problem paying for those children to survive, because when they survive, because of my country, because of the taxes that I pay, I have no problem having those children survive, because that ends up saving me money, and it's just the right thing to do. There's both a selfish and a selfless reason to do it. If you take the perspective of saving children's lives is a good thing, then you're already basically convinced. And if you take the approach of I don't want terrorists attacking my country, they lead you to the same conclusion. Either way you look at it, you end up with the same conclusion of, hey, I don't want little babies dying of malaria because it's wrong. And every time a child is saved by the US government, that's one more person in that country who will be there saying, hey, America saved my life. And we should do more of that. And we should do more healthcare at home and make sure everyone's insured. And we should do all of these things. But gutting USAID is extremely damaging to this country. It weakens us. America under Trump is the weakest it's been in my life. Period. We are so much weaker now than we used to be. And as an American, that makes me angry. That makes me angry. We are weaker now than we were before. We are weaker now than we were 6 months ago. And there's so much press that is telling the truth, coming out, telling what this administration is doing, which is destroying the goodwill that has taken decades to build. And sure, maybe the original reason we did this was anti-communism, and that's fine. But what really matters is now there are just so many reasons to do this. And, demonstrate there's a better way, and that's very important to me. As an American, it's just the right thing to do. It's just the right thing to do. Alright, once I get to the next stop, I will fuel up, but not on this one. Yeah, that's really the way I look at it. I want these children to be saved by my government, by my tax dollars that I pay, because it's the right thing to do, and it makes me safer at home. And it makes people safer around the world. Every time. Every time that somebody... Alright, is this... I need gas. How do I get gas here? There's no gas station there. Woof, I have to go all the way here. Okay, that's fine. I think I'll make it. Yeah. That's the way I see it. Saving little babies with my tax money makes America look better and makes the terrorists look worse. Makes the terrorists look totally crazy. And I am extremely pro make terrorists look crazy. Granted, that's a pretty easy thing to do, but even though it's an easy thing to do, I am still extremely pro make terrorists look crazy. 420 West, right? I am so paranoid about that. Okay, 412. Sorry, not 420. It should be 420. Point being, that's silly. It's frustrating. You know, saving lives is good business. Saving lives is diplomacy, and diplomacy is the best anti-terrorism we have. That's not a left-wing perspective. It's backed up by data. That was almost a European ramp. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah. That's actually kind of funny. Oklahoma, one of the least European states, has some of the most European type ramps, I guess. Oklahoma has a relatively high percentage of natives, of course. Because of the Trail of Tears. Hooray, not hooray. Yep. But point is, well, I have $2.3 million. I should probably be buying garages and hiring drivers and buying some trucks. Oh, as part of my own every garage in the game strategy, which is why I've been working on for a while. Might do that once I get to Portland. Man, I'm so used to the income stream, I just don't even see it anymore. Yeah. Welcome to Econ. Buy yourself. Cut US aid spending. Save yourself a tax. The cost of a box of tax. I mean, pretty much. It's that low. It's stupid. Toll paid. That's fine. Oh no, $11. Eek. I'm bleeding money. And then I'm gonna make something just about now, probably. No, it is like 2 a.m., so I don't make as much in 2 a.m. A lot of my drivers choose to sleep, and I'm plowing through because there's not much to see here. There we go. I just made back the $11. And That's a level up. I have so many drivers and trucks and garages. I like this game. It's fun. Alright. I think we have some gasoline up here. Because I need gas. Rest area. Fantastic. I need gasoline. Kaboom. Let's see here. Wow, this is really well designed. Good job, Oklahoma. I like it when you don't have to go much off the highway to gas up. New England does this, Europe does this, apparently Oklahoma too. Might just be the far west doesn't really do this. Wow, that's cheap. 84 cents a liter? That's really cheap. We'll keep moving. It's not even a rounding error. It's so minuscule compared to how much money I have. I should go buy some garages and trucks, but actually, yeah, because having money in the bank doesn't really help you in this game. Garage manager. Let's see, trucks. Got all the trucks. Let's see. So what we're doing is we're going west to east. So I have, right now I'm working on completing Utah. So we're going to complete Utah. Buy some used trucks. Clicky click, purchase. Boom, boom, boom. Now I still have over 1 million left, so we're just gonna do this more. Let's see if I can buy all the used trucks. I've done that before, actually. Garage purchase. Alright, we're about to complete Utah. Hello, Utah. I'm buying Moab. Buy the large. Purchase. Yes, cool. Trucks. I want a truck. Looks very similar to the one I have that I'm driving right now. Purchase. This was a nice addition last year with the whole used truck. It's dumb. Okay, so like $2 million is 2 brand new full garages of trucks and people. Alright, now we need to do some recruiting. Hire a driver. Let's try to be a tire. It's Utah, so let's make sure. Let's have two garages full of women because I don't know. Why not? I like having gender parity. And I think I'm close to gender parity right now. I don't know. You see, it's mostly men applying, which, you know, is trucking. Oh, there we go. Ronald R. That's funny. Alright, 10 new drivers, 10 new trucks. Everyone's gonna be just fine. They upskill quickly. Ooh, you already have one of those. That's nice. Doesn't really matter because everyone will get upskilled eventually anyways. Alright, that's 2 trucks full of drivers and trucks, so let's go do another garage. So what states do we have left? So we've done Arizona, California, Nevada, Idaho. It's like Kalispell is my furthest west garage that I haven't filled up yet. Drivers. Use trucks. Let's get one to start. There we go. And boom and boom. Alright, there we go. Let's do some driving. That's nice. Gas tank full. Heading westbound on 412. Yeah, it is thinking 80's best for me, and I think so too. Well, it was first wanting me to like route near the 4 corners, but those roads are very windy, and I don't know why it wanted me to do that. Honestly, going to Portland, I cannot. If they had the Dakotas, which they're not prioritizing, they're gonna do Chicago first. I get that. It would be nice to have Chicago on the map. I think they want to get all the way to New York. I don't know. Put your bets down below. The question I have is, will SCS want to go first to Bluff? Oh, that was really risky. I almost was going God knows where. So they're gonna do Illinois. Louisiana's gonna be released soon, and oh come on, it's not that damaged. Well, maybe it is, but up 35 all the way to Nebraska. I don't think I'll take 35 all the way though. I think I'm switching to a US highway at some point. Anyways, I'm excited for them to have Chicago. That's gonna be good. Do a big Chicago LA run. That's definitely gonna be one of their. I mean, I bet they're gonna have Route 66 as one of their achievements to do a delivery between Chicago and LA, both ways. So Chicago to LA, LA to Chicago. I think. That's almost certainly one they're going to do. If we look at Route 66, I think. Yeah, Route 66 doesn't exist anymore for the most part. Mostly replaced by the interstate. It's like it's mostly like I-40 to LA. And then went basically Chicago to Oklahoma City and then across to LA. That was the route. So the only state we need now for that is Well, we need Missouri and we need Illinois. We have all but 2. Is this Kansas? Yeah, I think this is the sign I'm entering Kansas. Yeah. Anyways. Basically, as long as you keep going north, you get to 80. Then you go west. I can't wait to have all the way to New York City and then just do a San Francisco to New York job. That will be fun. It's just I-80 the entire way. That'll be good. Yeah. What? Why did that... Why does... Oh, right, because 35 goes up to Kansas City, and I don't want to do that. I want to stay on 135, and that was a mistake. Also, just having the... this is the issue with driving at night, but it's almost daytime now, so it's not really worth changing. I missed the exit. I do that sometimes. Okay, we're going to take this exit 53, and then we're going to take a loopy-loop and try to get back onto 135. That's right. But we might... It would be nice if all the states they have planned were released by the end of the year. I'm hoping they do. That would be nice. Yeah. You're this far east, you have all these tolls. I'm not opposed to it, it's just... Whatever. Not gonna worry about $7 when I'm going to make $1 million by dawn. Not that big of a deal. Literally $1 million by dawn. Probably. Let's see. Can I make $800,000 in 2 hours? Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. This will get me back to where I want to be. Now I need to take a right. See, you got to see a little detour around Tulsa, Oklahoma, I think I meant. I don't even know. Yeah, Wichita, Kansas, right. No, they're all the same. No, they're not, but they kind of are at the same time. Oh, yeah. I mean, there is a state similarity index on objectivelists.com. That's kind of fun. What's interesting is seeing like the most different states, which I think is like Mississippi and Massachusetts. I think that's right. Alright, now we make sure we take a hard right. North. To Nebraska. I was hit just a couple times, but it sure makes a difference. "28 hours left. Okie dokie. Now morning has come. Rise and greet the day. Yeah. Anyways, this'll be a nice drive. Trump won't last forever. There we go. "135 north to Salina." And I think this turns into a US highway and then it meets I-80, which is my goal. Well, I didn't make $1 million by dawn. I'll make $1 million by sunset, though. Schilling. A friend in high school and middle school whose name was Schilling. Oh, Erica. Let me turn this off. Bye-bye.